Welcome to this video. I'm Alberto, if you're new, and this video is going to be a simple guide in the experience of smudging your home using sage to just pass alongside your home, your office space. And before I dig into the exercise, I did want to mention a few key points. These details might be useful for you because people buy different sage for different reasons. Some people use sage, such as white sage. That's really common to just like the smell, the fragrance it gives off when they, burn the sage. Other people, rather than using it for a fragrance that's, natural from the earth, other people use it to clear dense energies, whether it's emanations from our technology, such as gaming consoles, PCs, laptops, televisions, the circuits, the hardware, that power through time. It's pollution. It's referred to that as pollution. It's kind of toxic. It wears down our body, being flesh and bone. So some people like to use sage to dispel evil, distorted spirits as well. So I'm going to cover different sages in this video, and the key point that I like to start off with is when you're using sage in your home, your space, your apartment, your office, wherever, keep in mind to open your window. You're going to want to open your window, I would say 2 inches the most, just a crack. You don't want to keep that smoke in, especially if you're using it to remove negative energy. You don't want to keep the smoke in regardless. You want to have a nice ventilation to circulate and let that energy that's dense, that's heavy, out of your space. Or you don't want too much smoke in your space as well. But you can't have your window too open, because that's going to just cause for it to just leave your home and not linger and clear the energies. So that's one point that's very important if you're using sage to cleanse your space. And just to let you know, different sage has different burn ability. Now, burn ability is just how long each sage has the fire burning. Every sage is different, so some burn ability might be harder than other sage. The white sage I like to cover first. It's very easy, very light burn ability. It picks up fire pretty fast. The fire, creates this ember and lingers. But just as a demo, never try to just burn the whole bundle of sage. If you have like a bundle like me, you don't want to overuse it, because the burn ability comes in play here, because you don't want to ignite the whole top surface of the sage. You're just wasting away your sage. What I like to do is I like to have just a bit of like an ember there. Those of you that smoke, that cherry, right? You want to have like a nice ember that's lit, and you're gonna do a motion. Some people like to do like an up and down, left and right motion. If you refer to the Holy Cross, if you believe in that system, that's a beautiful visualization technique you could use. But always try to wand around your sage throughout your space to keep the fire going. But never apply too much flame to it and waste it away. And another point I wanted to touch on is when you ignite the sage that you're using, always have your sage at an angle when you're igniting it. So if you're gonna ignite this end, have it downward. Heat rises, and if you don't have a tutorial guide from a supplier that you've purchased the sage from, they'll tell you as well. But I'm just holding this space in this video to tell you that the heat rises, and again, if you're a smoker, you do a pull. Can't do a pull for sage, so the heat is going to attract to the sage way better than having it like a torch lit up. it's going to cause you a bit more frustration or just extra work. So that's another tip that I like to give off. This is a Palo Santo. This is a very common sage that I like to buy. I love the smell it gives off. I use it in breathwork classes that I teach. It's very powerful when you're in a beautiful mind space of relaxation and you want just an extra kick of a scent. This could take you on a journey. The smell itself, it's so soothing and relaxing. And you'll hold this at the angle as well. But the burn ability for the Palo Santo, it's pretty hard. So my advice would be to just have, a lighter, a torch, a match, whatever you use as a flame source. Have it with you while you're walking around. That way you're not going from left to right. Especially if you're, trying to remain neutral to cleanse your home. You don't want to be distracted with going back and forth, flame going out. You have to go back to your source. So that's just another tip that I personally have experienced where I just like to have a lighter with me. I also wanted at this point to cover a few sage that is most common. There's plenty of sage out there, but I'm going to show you right now the sage that I've purchased throughout the years. I went ahead and filmed some of those for you. As I'm speaking, I could show you what it looks like and the effects of some of the sage. And some sage are even medicinal, such as the Palo Santo that I have here. It has medicinal properties, which is great. So first, let's start off with the white sage. So as I said, we can start off with the white sage. The white sage, it kind of has like this overpowering smell, but it's not unpleasant. It has like a earthy forest kind of smell. It's herbal, and it might be, something that's you're interested in. It depends on everybody, for we all unique. It might be overpowering for others, but it might be pleasant for you. And it's your go-to, I would say, for smudging, for cleansing. It's very common. I'm sure you've heard of white sage, before watching this video. But yeah, it's been used for, centuries, I would say. And it's just a sacred, powerful tool for many different cultures, many different people. And it's also used to purify and expel negative energies. And next, we can start off with the Palo Santo. I touched on it earlier. As I said, the burn ability is pretty difficult. So make sure, if you have it loose, I'd say it's the best to burn like this. They pretty much sell it like this. It's pretty common. And I just love how when they harvest Palo Santo, it's harvested once it's no longer alive, which is great. It shows me that there's an appreciation for it. There's no deforestation. I really enjoy the fact that they do that. And it's also a medicinal tool, as I touched on earlier. So just smelling this fragrance, burning and smudging the Palo Santo, it's helps to heal with colds, inflammation, cancer. It's very powerful. Just take it for granted. It just looks like wood, but it's such a beautiful, powerful tool that Mother Earth gives us. And it's usually harvested, in South America, like Peruvian forests. And it's also used for incense as well. So you don't have to just use it if you're into just smudging. You could use it also to just get a pleasant, beautiful smell to relax the senses. So I highly recommend this one. They use it in a lot of healing modalities like meditations, yoga, and it also increases creativity to the mind. So I can imagine it's such a beautiful, pleasant smell. So euphoric. The next one we could touch on is blue sage. This one, it's very interesting because, you have white sage, you have blue sage, and I'm showing you a new bundle that I have, but me just trying out this one, it kind of reminds me of the white sage. It is suggested if, you kind of have a difficult time with other sages, because this one has an easy burning ability. So it's great because you're gonna get a nice experience with this one, kind of like the white sage. It's a perennial herb, and it's, alternative, as I said, from white sage, from others. It's more milder than the white sage, though. That's something I would say. So you get that same tones of like the forest smells and everything, but it's a bit floral, I would describe, just because it's more milder. I kind of get like a more, flowerless tree. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's really nice. I, use it as well to just cleanse my home sometimes, to just switch things up from the white sage. This one also is used and believed to remove negative energies from a space, just to increase positive energy, relaxation, removing pollutants of emanations of technology, that sort of thing that I mentioned earlier. So this is a nice piece to have if you like to collect and try new things out of sage. It's a nice piece to have and experience for yourself. It's more mild too. If white sage is too strong for your senses, or if you get allergies from that, this is a good one to try out, to consider. This next one that I found is flower sage, and it's really cool because I found a supplier that's located in California, and they make these bundles of like natural wildflowers. Of course, you see that it has white sage in this outer part here, but I just find it nice because it also has blue sage in here. So you have white sage, you have blue sage, and you have wildflowers as well, that is used for, pretty much having essential fragrances and everything that's very pleasant for the human sense of smell. But what I really like is that you don't have to ignite this sage and just burn it. If you buy it new, you could actually leave it around your house, and it would just give off this fragrance, which is really nice. I really enjoyed this one. As you could see, it's kind of old. I haven't even ignited it yet, just because I have white sage and blue sage and I have experience with that. And the flowers are so pretty, so I don't want to light this one up in such a long time. But I don't really get that much of a smell from it as I used to. So soon I might just light it up. But if you want to purchase a flower sage, as they'll call it, where it's like a bundle like this, try not to, as I said earlier, ignite the whole top half or bottom half. I would just ignite piece by piece. And you could also cut a few of these strings from the bundle here, and you can have it a bit more loose. But depending how dried it is, I'll suggest to just burn little ends of it, because the burnability of the white and blue sage, it's very easy, it's very low, so high, excuse me. So yeah, I wouldn't want to just overpower the flame on this one. It's beautiful. This next one I wanted to touch on is the juniper. And this one is amazing. I just was stunned by it because I've heard of juniper throughout my life growing up. But yeah, this little bundle here, it's very interesting. The burnability, it's very easy, so it just lights up pretty well. About time I purchased it, it's already dried. So it should just burn easily as well. And the native people would use this throughout history to banish evil spirits, and protect themselves from curses, any form of like witchcraft as they believed. And this modern day and time, I don't know, but you just never know. And I just find this so interesting that juniper was used as that practice. So who knows, right? But yeah, this plant, produces berries in the wild, which is pretty cool. I found that awesome. People also make tea with this, so it's medicinal, I would say. And yeah, it's not as common, but just again for your collection, it's a nice piece to add and for you to experience as well, especially if you're just in a job or somewhere where you just feel like bad vibes and everything. Like, this could serve you well. If you have an experience of that watching this video and you purchase it and you notice a big change from a difficult or challenging atmosphere or just negative environment, be sure to leave a comment. I would really appreciate that because I'm very curious about this one. And then finally, I have here the Yelba Santa. And this one, it's medicinal. It's known mostly to treat inflammation throughout the body. It also has treated infections throughout history as well. So when I was doing research online about that, I found that very cool. And if you notice here, there's like a sap texture. I don't know if my light is. Let me just touch my light mid-production. Yeah, so I don't know if you could just see that, but it's like a glistening around this end here. The branch, it's like a glistening residue there. But anyway, I just found it really interesting that, it's medicinal in that way. If you buy this, I would say to have it very dried, because as I said, it's like pretty moist. So the burnability, it's pretty challenging. I actually removed a piece from this bundle to just try out in the past, and it was pretty challenging. So I've been letting it dry ever since. It's still pretty moist, like it's not flaky at all. But yeah, I really like how, if you have it nice and brittle and you use it for smudging, it's, a new experience. I can't wait to see what it smells like when you smudge and burn this sage. From what I read, it just has like this sweet smell to pretty much, be very pleasant to the senses, kind of like the Palo Santo. So I'm excited to try this one out. I have yet to really have it burn very well to smell that sweet smell. But yeah, just smelling it, I mean, it gives me like a scent of like white sage like that, and it kind of has like a similar look to its leaves, like that canvas kind of like white gray color. But yeah, this is also used at the time of people doing healing practices and yoga classes and such as well, the Yerba Santa. So yeah, I felt like it was pretty cool to just read up on the Yerba Santa, and I'm just excited to actually try it out, to actually have this more dried, to just smudge and just experience the pleasant smell. I hope you enjoyed that presentation of the different sage that I have. Hopefully I can find more out there. I'm so fascinated by just the process of lighting it up. It's a nice little routine I like to have, and it's beautiful. I feel like I'm bringing the forest to my home. So just a quick recap: always have that window crack open when you're smudging your home. Pass it around through different devices. technology like televisions and such, and always hold that at an angle. When you're igniting it, it's better results there. Always carry your lighter. And yeah, that brings me to the end. Thank you so much. Sub if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe, and I send you love. Bye.